Somehow, I have read these books twice, which is probably more than any other person in the world, which makes me a foremost expert on the Elementia Chronicles by Sean Fay Wolf. I don't want to be, but I am.
For those at all interested, I'll try to keep this spoiler free. I also feel obligated to credit my younger brother who found these, so thanks. The Elementia Chronicles is a Minecraft fanfiction trilogy published by HarperCollins, I am not making this up, written by one Sean Fay Wolf, who was 16 at the time of writing. That doesn't show at all? No siree. The series started with Book 1, The Quest for Justice, released in 2015, followed by Book 2, The New Order, also in 2015, and concluded with Book 3, Herobrine's Message, in 2016. These titles pretty much tell you all you need to know. The story follows Stan, our hero, and his friends Kat and Charlie and others as they start a rebellion in the Minecraft server Elementia to overthrow the tyrannical ruler King Kev, and later the machinations of the Noctum Alliance and the malicious Lord Tenebris. Fairly epic in scope for a Minecraft fanfic. Getting right into the review, the best thing I can say about this story is that it is, in fact, worth reading. If you search Minecraft book on Amazon, you will be met with an insane amount of frankly horrible stories set in Minecraft, with such strange topics as Diver Wimpy Kid parodies, I think? And then the lore of the evil Herobrine, of course. Somehow Amazon let the Minecraft literature department be overtaken by 12-year-olds who got a C+ in English. Thankfully, the Elementia Chronicles actually tries? It tries to have a cohesive story with lovable characters and interesting ideas. Does it succeed? For the most part, the broad strokes of the story are well told. The plight of the server of Elementia is very clear. The creator, King Kev, has gone mad with power and is employing pseudo-racism to use against players under level 15. Stan, a noob, which the story reminds us of with the subtlety of a brick thrown at your face, must put a stop to it. While it is very obviously told from the mouth of a 16-year-old, the concept of defeating corruption, moving beyond prejudices, and learning from the mistakes of the past while honoring those who came before is a relevant message, and taught in a way that 5-year-olds, the intended audience, would get. I am not 5. Also, the story is fairly tight. Things that are set up in the first book are kept up with, built upon, and brought to satisfying conclusions throughout the series. Things happen in the story that change things immensely, and you feel them. Death is alarmingly prevalent, and again usually dealt with in healthy ways. Characters grow and change a bit more than you'd expect, and I give that a lot of credit. Our hero, Stan's arc, is pretty well written, in all honesty. Going from a noob at the beginning of the trilogy to a literal god at the end of the trilogy. It happens, really. Makes sense within the context. Pretty cool. Some of the supporting characters are also entertaining and fun to follow. For instance, Leonidas, one of the commanders of King Kev's army and Sean Fay Wolf's favorite character, gives a slightly less subtle look at the phrase heroes on both sides, and the boisterous Die Zombie 97, DZ to his friends, gives great levity. Oob the villager is a national treasure. Charlie, Stan's best friend, has an arc. Kat exists. Some of the villains are also very compelling, but the interesting ones are killed before the second book. Stan's love interest becomes his Jiminy Cricket and Obi-Wan Kenobi at the same time, and I won't explain that any further. But touching on the death a bit more, I am not joking when I say that several death scenes are written incredibly well. Some of my favorite characters die, and I don't really know how to follow that up. It just happens. Even more surprisingly, one of the best parts of the series as a whole is the action. There are a ton of fight scenes throughout the 3 books, but they're all varied enough and told in a way that keeps the combat interesting. Most of the fights have a memorable hook, which is what you want in battle scenes. Some phrases do tend to be repeated, like adding almighty to anything that moves, but somehow I'm willing to forgive that. But, and this is a fairly large but, The biggest problem with this Minecraft fanfiction is that it's a Minecraft fanfiction. Every single time you get a moment where you think, wow, that was emotional. I have come to the point where I feel for all of these characters and I love them so much. It is immediately followed by a sentence saying something like, he left the server. Realizing that Minecraft in this story is not a real world and the main characters are, in fact, playing a video game the entire time and are likely 11 and 12-year-olds on Skype and suffering from horrible lag, makes the entire thing really painful. So, if you do read it, pay no attention to references to real life. Anytime it is mentioned, just act like it's a reference to a weird cult or something. The rules of Minecraft itself don't even make a lot of sense in this story, and that becomes abundantly clear by the third book. If Sean Fay Wolf had created his own world, maybe using Minecraft as the inspiration and not the basis, it could have, and maybe even would have been, a story people could get into. Because, really, aside from a few mentions of creepers, and the inferior class villagers, and the terrifying demon Herobrine, of course, Minecraft really doesn't matter to the story. Other cons would be that the dialogue can be pretty painful. Some characters suffer from prequel trilogy dialogue, and there seems to be no escape from it. Some characters are just bad. You'll know them when you see them. And the prevalent death sometimes works against the characters, who are brutally murdered before you can get to know them. I'm not sure if this is a con or not, but speed potions and slow potions are apparently drugs, and one character gets addicted to them. Make of that what you will. But, aside from that, that might be it for the cons. There really is more positives than negatives to this series, and I'm as surprised as you are to hear myself say that. From my place as the foremost authority on Sean Fay Wolf's Elementia Chronicles, I have no choice but to recommend these books. If you're bored, if you like Minecraft, or if you're just profoundly confused, like I am, pick up these books. Even if you're all three of these, you'll enjoy them. I think. I really have no idea how to end this video. Some people end with ratings. I give this a question mark plus out of 10. Maybe a 7? I don't know. I've been dealt with psychic damage I can't recover from. Discord, Instagram, I have those. A link in the description for you to buy the books. And until next time, later.